Welcome back to a new video. Thought I'd show you something a bit different this time. I'm about to do a small demonstration on YouTube or Patreon, basically testing out my live stream cameras, and I thought I'd pick a nice image out, just something I can work on for an hour or so on there, and I thought you guys may find it of interest to see a bit of the image editing that I sometimes do or very frequently do. So here's some photos of chimpanzee, of course, that I've taken a couple of months ago, and I'm using a program called Pastel Image Viewer, and this is number 6.4, and it's just a free image viewer, but you can do basic image editing in there as well, but I don't really use it for that purpose. I just use it to actually look at my images. So as you can see, it's easy to just scroll through like this. You can go up and down, and it'll view raw files, so those are the ones with CR2 on them. It'll view JPEGs and lots of other different formats as well. Some programs don't do that very easily. So if I just go back up to the chimpanzee, with raw files, so this is a Canon raw file, so it's got that .cr2 at the end. If it's Nikon, it's different. You know, the different manufacturers have different names on the end to show a raw file. Raw files have all of the image data packaged in there. Okay, JPEGs, so JPG on the end of it, they're a compressed file, so they don't have all of the data on there, which is okay. But if you want to edit it much, you want all the image data on there, because if you're using JPEGs and say your darks are extremely dark when you took the photo and you didn't notice it, or the lights are extremely light and you didn't notice that, you can't really bring them back much at all. If they're burnt out, that's how they are, because the data is not there in the file to bring it back. With raw files, you've got much more leeway because you've got that extra data to bring back your burnt out highlights or your very dark darks. So let's just open this file up. Okay, so it's fairly sharp, not pin sharp, but it's sharp enough to use. And all I really then do is right click it and go edit with external program. And because I've got Photoshop already in this editing Pastel editor, it'll give me that option, and you can add and remove programs as you want. So I'll just click the Photoshop tab, and now he ends up coming into Photoshop Raw. Okay, so I'm just adjusting things a little bit for you to show you. So that's how he would then come in, just pretty much just as you saw it in the Pastel viewer. Now in here there's lots and lots and lots of things that I can do to adjust just about everything on there, and I like to adjust my image so that when I'm working from it, when I've printed it out, it's as close to the final effect I want in my artwork as possible, so that I haven't got to try things out on the drawing. I know, for instance, if I've got an area a bit darker, it may make something else look lighter, and I'll show you what I basically do. Up here we've got an auto button. Now sometimes you click the auto button and it miraculously makes everything just as you want it. Other times you click it and it'll make it all look terrible. But it's worth doing a click because you can always undo all these things, so it's worth a try. So if I click auto, because I've done a couple of adjustments as well, it does look as I want it. But let me show you what you can do. You can select the white balance for a start, so as shot, so that's how I actually took the photograph. See, it's all a bit too orange. You can select like cloudy day, fluorescent lights. It was actually daylit or daylight. If I stick it on auto, that's really close to how I want it. Now I can adjust things because it's a raw file. I can do things like alter the highlights, make them brighter, make them darker. And see, I can alter the shadows, so look at the shoulder area, I can lighten that or darken it, and everything else pretty much stays the same. So if I've got a dark shadow for the shoulder, see how the white hairs on the jaw really stands out. if it's lighter, it doesn't stand out as much. Okay, so you can play with that. You can look at just the whites. So you can go up and down there, all adjusting the effects and just the blacks. So you can go extremely dark, you can go a bit lighter, and then you've got other buttons or sliders like this texture. So I can make it look less texturized and smoother and more. I can do the clarity. Okay, so you can see you can really dramatically alter the image, and dehaze as well. And sometimes these I don't touch hardly any of them. The vibrancy, so I can punch those colors right up or take it almost to black and white. And then saturation, you can do that as well. And below there's lots and lots of things, and if you want to really get in and work or know what all of these things do, then you can go on YouTube and there's thousands of demonstrations on there. Another one I generally do is detail, so I can adjust the noise, the grain in there. I can make that go away. I can sharpen things up. Okay, and after I've done that, I generally just click open. And that brings that image with those adjustments into Photoshop. And there it is. Okay, so that's ready to print. Or I can make other adjustments. Now, one thing I wanted to do, so this comes in as a background file, so I can click that and make it a layer, so I can do adjustments on it again easily, and I can right click and duplicate the layer. Now everything I do on this top layer when that's selected is not going to be affected on the bottom, so we can try more things out here without any worry of us not being able to go back to the lovely image we got. So I thought image adjust, edit. I've got so many things that I do in here that I forget where things are. Edit, transform, and I'll flip it horizontally. So I'll get the chimp to look the other way. Now it looks a bit strange to us the other way now because we're used to looking at it this way. But I kind of like him looking towards the right. Now there's a few things I'd like to get rid of, so I think to myself, is there anything distracting on here? Yep, this grass by here is light against a very dark, so I can just choose the healing brush, draw over it, and it's gone. So the healing brush just looks like a plaster. I can get rid of these. I just go over it, left click, go over it, left click and drag, and that's those gone. I'm not going to do any more than that. Okay, I didn't need to do that. I could have just left it out in the drawing, but I thought, why not? And now I can come in and alter some more things if I wanted to. Image, adjust, perhaps a color balance. And what if we looked at just the shadows, and shadows made them cooler, because they generally are. So I can bring up a touch of blue, a touch of the cyan. Okay, and then what about the highlights? Highlights are usually a bit warmer in the sun, so what if I increase the yellow a bit and the red, because they are warmer. And if I click the preview on and off, you can see it's only a small adjustment, but I think the extra touch of blue and darkness that's come in the shoulder helps to accentuate the whites that we've got on the jaw, on the chin, and then the warmth of the flesh makes it more interesting as well. It makes it more of a dramatic image. All personal preference, doesn't really matter too much. This is one that I worked on earlier on. Okay, so you can see different versions of it. This one has more highlight across the bridge over the eyes and in the background. This one shows the blurred out fur on the shoulder a bit more, so personal preference. But hope that's of help to you. It's just simple image editing that you can do in free image editors, like I think GIMP will do it, Pixlr will probably do it. You know, you can go online or check on YouTube for free image editors and see what people think are really good and comparable to Photoshop, because Photoshop is superb The only reason I subscribe to it is because I've used Photoshop over the last 20 odd years, and that's the one I'm used to using. But you could very easily do this simple image editing in one of the free ones. You don't have to be shelling out lots of money for it. So I hope you found that of interest, and is give you a little peek into the way I do minor adjustments on my images before I use them. See you all again very soon. Just wanted to quickly mention my Patreon channel for those looking for even more in-depth art instruction. It's packed full of pastel videos, oil videos as well, and those videos are being added to new ones every single month. I have videos for the complete beginner that have never done pastels or oils before with just limited supplies, and I take you from the very first blocking in all the way through to the final detailed drawings and paintings. I've also got some really unusual subjects as well, and in all of my videos I always take you through all the details. You see everything I do, how I create my work. But it's not just for beginners, it's also for novices, and I also show the best artwork that I've ever done as well. And this particular elephant video spans 6 hours, so you know you're going to see tons and tons of details, tips and techniques. And as mentioned, I've got lots of oil videos on there too, so there really is something for everybody, and you get access to hundreds of hours worth of videos for just $4. Now over 1,000 members strong. Hope to see you there soon.